4 very good swimmers who are swimming around about the same times if they are true to form. So they can't get their heads down even if the lead is not given to them from the first leg. But Danny Yeo yesterday looked very good, I have to say. First time he's gone sub 149. Wilson came out cramping up, having chased QUAH all the way in the 200 meters freestyle final yesterday and clocking sub 148 for the very first time. And the other Malaysian swimmers, Lim Ching Huang, Yap Zheng Yang, they've all been pretty strong as well, going sub 152s. So the team from Thailand in lane number 2, Kitia Tanakrit, Jirapong Sangkawat, Siwat Masakapong, and Seri Pangsonbun are the 4 swimmers. No Thai swimmers made it to the 200 meters final yesterday. Now hear the crowd and the reception for this team. Keith Yap will be their final leg against Joe Schooling, who will be the anchor leg for Singapore. Led off by Danny Yeo, the bronze medalist in the 200 meters freestyle yesterday. Then QUAH, Pang Shengjin, and Joe Schooling, the same 4 who have won gold medals at the past 2 SEA Games, hoping to make it a hat-trick. Wang QUAH does go first, so he renews what was an epic clash with Wilson Sim yesterday in the 200 meters freestyle final. Triadi, who is already a gold medalist tonight, swims in lane 6 for Indonesia, along with Afla Prawira, who finished 7th yesterday.
It's going to be a great start. Basically, you have 3 of the final medalists from yesterday's 200 meter freestyle, starting for each of their individual countries.
It's almost part 2 of what we saw last night, and if it's anything that is going to happen from last night, we're in for a real treat. Just the first leg of this 4x200 meters freestyle relay. I can tell you this, I don't think it'll be as big a winning margin as what Singapore achieved last night, and they won in the women's 4x200 meters freestyle. This will be much closer. So Thailand go in lane number 1 with Kitia Tanakrit, Malaysia in lane 3, and they're represented by Wilson Sim. His personal best time this year clocked last night 1:47.79. Singapore with Danny Yeo, his best time clocked last night in winning bronze 1:48.98. Vietnam with Quang QUAH, his best time clocked last night 1:48.07, and Indonesia with Afla Prawira as their first leg swimmer.
We're seeing a very different race compared to yesterday. Yesterday we saw QUAH and Wilson really take it out at the first 100, but now they're pretty much on level together with Danny from Singapore.
Yeah, Danny actually left his charge very late last night, and Wilson this time, in fact, is in 3rd position at the moment. Is in 2nd position at the moment, I should say. Danny just behind them, and QUAH will turn first for the Vietnamese ahead of Malaysia, and then Singapore. Danny was actually over a second behind those 2 after the 100-meter mark yesterday. He's much closer to them now. QUAH yet again in almost a repeat of last night, a carbon copy of last night's final. Takes the lead against Wilson, who will need to come back strong in the final 50 meters. Danny has to make sure that the lead is not too much of a gap for the likes of Zheng, Shengjin, and Joe Schooling to chase in the next few laps. Wilson has taken over the lead, heading home for the first changeover in the 4x200 ahead of QUAH. QUAH doesn't have as much and strong teammates as the Malaysians and Singaporeans have. Tan Chanto will be next. He was 6th yesterday in the 200 meters freestyle. Good swim by Danny Yeo. He's coming right back into it to keep pace with QUAH. Wilson Sim will give Malaysia a body length lead ahead of Vietnam, and then Singapore in 3rd place. Singapore have QUAH in the pool, whose personal best in this race is 1:49.17 that he clocked at the last SEA Games. Malaysia have Lim Ching Huang in the pool, 1:50.42 is his personal best time. And Vietnam, of course, with Tran in the pool. So Zheng, he needs to know he can't get it out too fast now. He needs to know it's a 200-meter race, and he has time to catch up with the Malaysian.
Again, look at Zheng's underwater kick. He caught up really just from that turn alone. So I think what you'll see is Zheng looking very comfortable here. He's going to build up this race. I think from the third lap, he's going to build it up, and then fourth lap, you're going to see him really bringing his legs with a 6-beat kick.
It's actually Yap Zheng Yang who is swimming for Malaysia, 151.22, his personal best. And this is where Zheng Wen will need to try to attack and just turn it up a gear and then another in the final 50. He has taken a slight lead ahead of the Malaysians. Vietnam still right there on the map, thanks to Tan Trio, their second leg swimmer. But their two best swimmers have gone on the first two legs, though, for Vietnam, who haven't won a medal in this event and look sure to end that drought tonight. Malaysia turning in second, Vietnam in third. QUAH will head this home and give PSG Pang Sheng-jun a body length lead at least. The Malaysians and Zheng Yang coming back strong in this final 50.
I'm a bit surprised that this race is getting as close as it is now. I think Zheng's a little bit tired, especially given the number of races he's had so far. Passing on to Pang Sheng-jun, so hopefully he's already swum the 200 IM, so he could be a little bit tired.
Malaysians have Lim Ching Huang, who's also swum tonight already in the 200 meters individual medley as well. So a chance for Sheng-jun to make himself a real star. His best time was clocked yesterday, 151.22. Lim Ching Huang's best time, 150.42. So he's clocked faster time than Pang Sheng-jun in his 200 meters freestyle career. But we've seen already in the SEA Games that Sheng-jun has come here in top condition. The Vietnamese are still in with a shout. It is Ngo Dinh Nguyen who swam earlier in the 200 meters individual medley in the pool. So I don't know if the coaches have spoken to each other or what, but those who were swimming in the 200 freestyle final yesterday went off together at the same time, and those who were swimming in the 200 meters individual medley earlier on are swimming together at the same time in first, second and third respectively.
Yeah, they're all equally tired, so I think it makes it a fair game.
2:27 the lead, with Sheng-jun having 75 to go in his leg before he hands it over to Singapore's national record holder Joseph Schooling. His personal best 147.79, but this year he hasn't been able to break 151. A little bit more for Sheng-jun, who we saw in that 200 meters individual medley, has that extra kick in the final 50, and hopefully he still has that in him as his legs start working.
Yeah, we're seeing the kick right now. I mean, Sheng-jun's legs are coming up, bringing his 6-beat kick, last 50. He's just going to put everything he's got into this last 50.
Keith Lim of Malaysia getting ready to take on Joseph Schooling of Singapore, who hasn't swum this event in a long, long time. Schooling already a winner tonight in the 100 meters freestyle, yet again exploding off the starting block. Just that plunge alone built him a 2.5 body length lead over Malaysia's Keith Lim. Vietnam with Chu Tran in the pool and hopefully fighting for silver, and somehow with Schooling's plunge in itself and the way he extended it, it has quietened this crowd down a little bit.
Yeah, it has. We see Schooling, he's slowed down his stroke rate a little bit, getting into a comfortable 200 meters style, and then what you'll see again, right? He'll build it up on the third 50 and just go all out on the last 50. So you'll see him quicken up his strokes and bringing his kick as the race progresses.
So the lead has been built, and for someone who hasn't swum the 200 meters freestyle a lot, that speaks volumes of Joe Schooling as a competitor. He goes into the pool and he just builds on whatever the lead has been given to him, and just when we thought it was a close race, after two legs has been stretched and pulled so far apart thanks to Sheng-jun and now Schooling. SNS have been superb for Singapore for the final two legs, and surely now there's no catching Schooling. Malaysia need to catch Vietnam for silver.
Schooling is bringing in his legs again, right, as expected. His stroke rate is so different from the third to the fourth lap. He's just putting in everything he's got. I think this might be his last race for the competition. So it's
He's got the medley still to come. Let's not forget.
That's correct, the medley relay.
Unless the coach is deciding to chant it out with the other teams. They just missed out on the SEA Games record, which they set in 2015. Schooling takes it home though, and I'd love to see his split time and what he recorded, because it might be just his personal best this year, having not swum the 200 meters freestyle a lot. Vietnam, how well did they do? They have never won a medal before in the 4x200 meters freestyle, and the first that they win is in 2017, and it's a silver. The Malaysians, who led thanks to Wilson Sim after the first leg, will have to settle for bronze.
Yeah, surprise silver from Vietnam, but again, Malaysia was missing its second best swimmer with Daniel Bago, so that's a pity that they didn't get to race Singapore with the best foursome that they have.
Joe Schooling, he will have a rest day tomorrow. That's the only thing that will be on his mind now, and he'll look forward to it. Danny Yeo kept them in it. He faced tough competition because he faced off against the two swimmers that beat him yesterday to the gold medal in this 200 meters freestyle. So he faced some tough competition, but he kept Singapore in it, at least in the first leg. And the moment Zheng Wen went in, Singapore started taking the lead halfway through his leg. Sheng Jin extended it, and Joseph somehow, with just this plunge alone, that explosion right there, just stretched that lead and never looked back.
Yeah, the first start and Joe's last turn, the last underwater, if you watch it, the last underwater, he really took it further than he usually does. He went at least 10 meters, and he brought his legs in, quickened his strokes and really brought it home on the last 50.
Great swim from the Singapore quartet. Left to right, Sheng Jin, Danny, Zheng Wen and Joe, they were screaming at him to go a little faster because they wanted that record. Well, maybe if he didn't have an earlier race, Joe Schooling might have helped them break that record. But for someone who has almost put the